everyone, Pat Huntoon from Technique Junkies here, and today we're making a simple one-layer card using some very simple tools. We'll be using a ruler, a Sharpie, a fine line Sharpie, a stays-on ink pad. I'm going to be using black, and stamps, and we're going to be coloring our image with Nuvo glitter markers. We're actually using this autumn set of 6 from Technique Junkies SS078. It comes with 3 leaves and 3 sayings, so we'll be using that. And we're going to be using the Nuvo glitter markers. I want to tell you a few things about these glitter markers before I get started, because I think they're just great little markers. Most markers that are on the market are either brush style or they're very fine. I happen to like these because they have a bolder tip to them, and when you color them, they color very nicely. So you can see they have a really pretty glitter to them. I hope the camera's picking that up somewhat, but the glitter is very pretty, and it's self-contained and dries extremely quickly. So that's why I like them, and when they're dry, you can rub your finger over them and the glitter doesn't go anywhere. So if you're glitter phobic, like many of us are, these are great markers for you. When you first take them out of the package, you will need to prime them, and by priming them, you're simply going to be taking the marker and pouncing it up and down until the color runs. This has been primed already, so it does take a minute or two when you're doing it. Don't expect it to be quite that fast. Also, when you're looking at the colors, you see the colors on the packaging. Let me remove this plastic piece. The colors on the packaging is a little deceiving. They tend to be a little bit more intense than the colors show. So what you want to do is actually look at the base of the marker and the window to see what colors they actually are. It's a better representation of the marker overall. You can see it looks a little washed out here. This red truly comes out as red, and I'm going to be using it on my piece, so you will really see what that looks like. So let's get started with the actual card. I'm just using plain white cardstock. I am partial to Nina Solar White because I can use everything on it, Copics and everything else. It's a nice coated cardstock. It's a very nice cardstock. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to stamp my leaves and my saying. So I already put a leaf on the back of here, so I'm just going to ink it with my stays-on ink, and I'm going to give it, I think I'm going to put it up here like this. And then I'm going to be removing this one and putting on the birch leaf, because I like this birch leaf. I believe it's a birch leaf. And I'm going to be inking that one and putting that one on there. And I'm actually keeping these within the boundaries of the card itself for this particular technique, just because I like the way it looks. Now, I did put the autumn on the back of this because I normally would use a MISTI for a sentiment or a stamp positioner for a sentiment, but they're in my booth right now and I can't get them out until later. So I'm going to be using a regular ink block, and let me show you a little trick. I want to know that this is going on nice and evenly. So what I did was I lined the bottom of my ruler up to the bottom of the sentiment and aligned that with the bottom of my my block here. And what that does is it tells me that if I line this line right here up evenly with my card, I will have a nice even sentiment there. And again, don't be afraid to have your ruler out so that you can kind of see. And I'm going to stamp this sentiment in the bottom corner. I'm going to ink this up really well, make sure I get a good inking on that. I want to make sure I have a nice squared off sentiment there, and I'm doing this pretty close to the left corner. Before I do that, just want to make sure I'm nice and square there with the bottom. I want this to be even, and then I'm going to stamp that. Just going to press down and make sure that ink soaks in for a minute. Perfect. Okay, so that's perfect. I am ready to go. What I'm going to do is just start coloring, and I'm going to start with the gold because I really just adore this color, and just color this, and you can see how easily this goes on. I love these markers too because you can put them direct to stamp and they wash right off of the stamps. They're pretty amazing little markers. And they're really not very expensive. They're less than $3 per marker when you buy them on sale from me. When you buy all 3, they're $24.95 as opposed to the $9 a package that they usually run. So I give you a little deal on that, a little 10% off there. And they're so nice. I think they're great for any holiday, but the Halloween colors are fabulous. The green is such a nice green, and the red is such a nice red that they're great for Christmas too, if you like green and red Christmas. And the blues are beautiful for snowflakes and the like of that. So I'm just going over this. Now, if you feel it getting a little dry, just grab a sheet of paper and give it a quick priming again, or shake it up. But really, you really want to prime them. You want to get that ink nice and low on there. So I'm just going to add more there. I'm just going to be speeding this coloring up a little bit. I'm adding some green here, and so that you don't have to watch me color in real time. Just speed it up a little bit. And I'm going to be putting some green on here and priming this a little bit more. And you can really see the sparkle show up there. And I think I might add a little bit of orange, bronze, to this little leaf here. Yeah, I'll just put a little here and there.
Kind of get some veining. Just a little bit.
Back over this with the gold, just to give it a little bit more special coloring there. Back over it again with the gold. Just kind of blend it while it's still wet. They do blend better while they're wet. See how I didn't wait too long for that rust to dry. And they blend. These are water-based markers. They are not an alcohol marker. So you can use StazOn and just regular inks with them. I like to use permanent inks every time I use something that's water-based. Ooh, look how nice that turned out. I really like that. And I think what I'll do is I'll put some gold on this one. And then I'll probably go back over this. It's a little weird to be putting a lighter color over a darker color, but I think it adds a little je ne sais quoi. I'm just going to leave this like this. Now this is pretty much dry, and you can really see, I think, you can really see the shimmery stuff there. Now we're going to box this out, and what you really have to think of is your cardstock as a box. And basically, we're just using my ruler, and you're lining this edge up with the edge of the ruler, and determine how much you want to go in. And I think I'm going to just put some pencil marks on this so I know. I am going to go, whatever this measurement is right here. You see the line where the ruler line actually starts? That is 1/4 inch. So I'm going to put a 1/4 inch dot all the way around this. So 1/4 inch here. Okay, what I'm doing at this point is I'm creating dots in all 4 corners, 1/4 inch away from each edge, so that I can draw a straight line with the Sharpie. I can come back through and draw a straight line with the Sharpie. I'm double checking my measurements, making sure that they're perfect before I move on to the next step. I'm going to be placing my ruler here, and anywhere there is a stamped image, we're going to be skipping that. Everywhere there's not, we're just going to be putting a line. So we're actually starting our line at the dot. We're going dot to dot. Keep my hand on that and use my Sharpie. And I'm just going dot. Now, even though the words are there, we're kind of missing them. To dot. Then I'm flipping it, and I'm going dot to dot again. My dot is here. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to skip the words. I'm going to stop a little bit before the words and start again right after them. I'm going dot to dot. And then I'm going to turn this again and go dot to dot one more time. Dot. I might have gone just a little bit too far there. I think it'll be all right though. 2 dot. So I'm going to stop at the leaf. I'm going to pick up after the leaf. So we're going to go dot to dot. This is much easier. I'm going to go end to end here. And we've created a box. Now, if this was further out, if this leaf was further out in there, that's where you stop it. Okay, so you can really see the shimmer on there. I could leave this just like this, but it's kind of fun to doodle on these. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you. and then we're going to doodle, and then this card will be all done. And by doodling, I just mean we're just going to add some spirals here and there, go over the lines, put some dots, you know, intersect your lines. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a little doodly. It's a little more whimsical. It's much more formal without the dots, but I kind of like the whimsy of the extra curly cues and whatevers. And there's no right or wrong. It's just hand done here. And let's speed up a little bit here so you don't have to watch me doodle in real time. I'm just going to doodle around on this on all four corners. And here we go. And took all of about 5 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you love those markers as much as I do. And I will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. If you liked this video today, please give it a thumbs up and watch our other Technique Junkie videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.